My name is Daniel Eves. I am an associate professor of chemistry at Southern Utah University. So I chose my specialty in chemistry mainly from the lack of having any sort of formal instruction. It was really interesting when I was a student here. We had a professor who was teaching analytical chemistry who was actually not returning the next year. And I didn't really enjoy my experience in the class. And the person who ended up teaching the class was an inorganic professor. And I thought, you know, there's got to be a better way to do this. And so after having all the other areas with excellent professors and we had a great time, the fact that this guy was uncertain, I figured, you know, I think I might want to try that because I really don't feel I had the good grounding that I should have had. In addition to that, I had an opportunity to do it practically as someone who worked in the water lab on campus. And so I got to see it firsthand, but also in the back of my mind, like there's got to be a better way to kind of learn this. And so between those two things of seeing it in person and not having the best foundation, I thought, yeah, there's more to this. And so that's why I ended up picking analytical chemistry. So my current research interests are using microfluidic devices to analyze small molecules. And I've picked that specific topic because it was able to be done at our institution. Before that, when I was in graduate school, I was looking at, and my previous research was involving exocytosis of model cells using a soybean extract and put that into layman's terms. It's basically using fat bubbles to see how they explode, which was a lot more interesting. But the problem with that and trying to be able to continue it here at SUU is that it required a bunch of instrumentation that would have totaled about $500,000, and we didn't really have that budget. And so when I did my postdoc just before I came here, I was using microfluidic devices, and I thought this is a great platform for analyzing small molecules, and it would transfer over perfectly to where we are. And so in the past, I've used it to look at tetrodotoxin, which is found on salamanders, and try to quantitate the amount of that tetrodotoxin on a specific kind of salamander, because a student of mine had read an article that said that at different stages of life, these salamanders give off different levels of this tetrodotoxin, which is a hallucinogenetic. So we thought, seems like an interesting problem to try and solve, and so that's what we did. Oh, that is an excellent question. My favorite part of being at SUU is the interaction with the students, and to be able to see the light that shows in a student's eyes when they get a concept that they've been struggling with. I also like remembering the times when I was a student here as well, and the great instruction that I received, and it makes me feel like I'm part of that same group that's helping a new batch of students come to a better realization of the joy that is chemistry. One of the times that I helped a student overcome a significant challenge in their studies, there was a young lady who I had in the elementary chemistry course. She had my course 4 times. And every time she took the class, we would sit down and talk and work through, and we tried to find ways for her to connect, because her problem was that mathematics was difficult for her. And we would work our way through and try to come up with analogies for her to try and figure it out. And the point just before I was, frustrated because we'd done this multiple, and her 4th time through, we were able to find a connection of something in her life that she could associate these numbers, because we do a lot of conversions with math. And she finally was able to make that connection on that 4th time through. And I was somewhat upset with myself for taking that long to find that connection, but it wasn't for lack of trying. It just didn't manifest itself until that 4th time through. So I felt bad for her, but at the same time happy that she was able to put it together. I involve the undergraduate students in my research basically by having them come and try it out. So part of my research is making microfluidic devices out of various plastics. And so we will use a couple of different methods to make them. One is using a polymer called polymethyl methacrylate, which is a hard plastic. And we put it between two pieces of metal, and we heat it up in an oven, and there's an imprint in between those pieces of metal. And so when the heat gets to the right temperature, the plastic is soft enough that we can tighten it up with C-clamps and able to imprint that template into the plastic. Another way that we do that is to use a different plastic called polymethyl methacrylate. Polydimethylsiloxane. Acronyms are great. PDMS is its acronym. And it's liquid, so you can just pour it on there and then put it in the oven and it hardens. But I find the best way to get students involved with research is to have them to do it. And most of the time, for us, the amount of chemistry that you need to know is not as much as you would think it would be. And so it's easier to just try it and do it and learn why that is later on. Something that I would tell a student why they would want to be at SUU to do chemistry. We have some of the greatest faculty ever, but also the program itself is designed to help those that may not have had the best foundation to be able to learn the things that they need, not only to succeed, but to excel in the world of chemistry. And we see that with our students as they go on to the next level, whether they go into get a job in industry or they go to graduate school, that they're not only able to be competitive, but excel at that next level.